May 23, 2025. This is the S&P 500 E futures mini on the 2000 tick chart using NinjaTrader 8. This is what the chart looked like today. Pre-market, it just sold off, gap down, kind of opened with a gap on the regular trading hours. It did close the gap because where the cursor is, I'm going to actually change this over. Where the cursor is where the gap was filled. And overall, it wasn't a very easy day for me to trade. I took one trade and was a loss. And this whole week has been just kind of not the best for me because I was missed out on trading the first couple of days. And then the next 2 days, Wednesday and Thursday, I got some profitable trades, but I think they were all, I would say a few of those trades that I took were kind of iffy. And today, I thought it was a kind of a better trade, but in hindsight, after better review and thinking about it after the trade has passed, I realized that it probably wasn't the safest. I didn't see too many setups. I did mark some trades or some setups or some areas that I thought might have been trades. No economic data came out today to really move the markets. So I'm going to get into the setups now. This is the pre-market. It's actually overnight from yesterday. I saw a fail breakout. So this is actually not in real time. I start trading right where this gray line is. So I'm logged in probably a couple minutes before it goes from overnight to regular trading hours. But I did see this, drew up my chart, saw this a fail breakout. Notice it was looking like it was range bound. I did see something like a new high. It's a first entry long, pullback, second entry long. Also a new low, first entry short, second entry short. EMA is starting to show resistance. If this had shown up in regular trading hours, I think I might have tried to take this trade because I do like that it moved a couple ticks above or just one tick above, then flushed down and engulfed it strongly with enough room to the lows. With this trading range, I wouldn't be too concerned about it going back into range because it looked like it tried to move back in once. EMA is starting to show resistance, came back, tried to do a second time, and then got rejected. So here might be enough for a quick 1 point scalp. Prices then sold off. Looks like it was break, tested the low. Actually break, tested the low, second attempt down, 2 attempts up, flushed down on this yellow down channel, this orange down channel, moved sideways, spiked up, broke out of the range, and it moved down this orange channel. And then this is actually where the market starts to open. It pushes up. And initially, I wasn't sure what was doing that. Initially, I wasn't sure what kind of, let me just go and zoom in. I initially drew this a little tighter, something that looked closer to this. So there's no real clean second entries, which is up. And it creates what I think is a failed second entry long here. So it's an overshoot. And at this time, I did drag this up to here because it looks like it fit a little bit better. You have an overshoot here. Looks like it's a first entry long, pullback, second entry long by one tick. Then it rejects and flushes down really strong. But I don't think this is really a trade here. It's a little iffy depending on how you drew this yellow up channel because you can either have an overshoot or you can say it's all contained. In any case, it is in real time potentially bouncing off this confirmed yellow up channel support. So that's something I noticed. I wasn't really thinking there's a trade there. Definitely not to go short. Pushes around, pushes up. You could argue this is a lower high here. It doesn't look very good. And then you could say maybe there's a lower high here, but it's kind of the wrong color. It's a green candle. So it gives me pause. Pushes down on this orange down channel, breaks, tests the low. It starts moving back up. It looks like it's range bound. I did see a new low here, localized new low. First entry short, pullback, second entry short. Second entry short pushes back up, creates a lower high. So I wasn't sure it was going to be a lower high because here it's looking promising that it's going to be moving back to the bottom of the range, but the candle is bullish. If it was bearish, I think I would have been more inclined to try to take a trade. This yellow up channel technically has a break here and tested the high. This could be the second attempt up, but I was playing with this at the time thinking, is this something closer to this? It only has one touch, two touch, but I ended up drawing something closer to this such that I actually had a break here and tested the high. So break, tested the high, pull back, second attempt up. So this is a lower high. It's a little, it was hard for me to see it in real time. And then by the time this candle forms, it feels like it's too late because the break of the yellow up channel is test the high. It's range bound. It might be coming back down. Chop sideways. There are second entries in here, but not really good setups because it's a new high, first entry long pullback. Technically, second entry long here, but it's a bad signal bar. And you might say there's a higher low here, the higher low, but it is kind of inside to here. And it's just in the middle of nowhere, so I didn't really like that. Pushes up on this green up channel. I drew, well, this is a remnant. This is a artifact of, I initially thought, okay, maybe I'm going to create a range here. So I saw one touch, two touch, three touch. This could be a bigger range. I wasn't sure. So it's a new high. It's technically first entry long pullback, second entry long, third entry long. But the way I saw it is actually, whether you had a break here or not, it looks like it's a visual from here, despite the fact that it broke up higher here. It looks like a visual first entry, pullback, second entry. Visual second entry long, break of this green up channel. It looks like it's one attempt up, pullback. This could be the second attempt up. It looked like it had two clean measured moves. So from here, one leg down, pull back, second leg down. I like that it moved a couple ticks down, then reversed strongly back up, almost closes above this guy, and then it flashes up. So it might have been a possible trade here is bounce off the outside of this trading range, or what I thought was a trading range. It could be a failed breakout pullback. But I wasn't on it. It was a little hard for me in real time to figure this, because if this had actually closed above this guy, or this didn't have quite a long wick so that this decisively engulfed this guy, plus with a break above the EMA and a close at the highs, I think I would have taken a trade. But it gave me enough doubt for me to skip it when I saw this. Pushes up, starts moving back down. Looks like it's a first entry long pullback. You technically have a second entry long. It's not the most convincing signal bar. There's no real support. I drew this, but it's hard to justify this. I need like a third touch to really trust that this is some kind of support. In this case, it worked, but I wouldn't have known that in real time that it was going to work. It just felt dicey. Presses up. Technically, a first entry short. You technically have a second entry short. It's an inside bar. Then the follow through isn't very convincing because it looked like it pushed down and it closed at the high. So it looked like there's still some bullish momentum potentially still here. But then it starts chopping sideways. If you did try to take a trade here going short, right here, you probably would have gotten a fill, but this is a risky bar to take it on. It starts moving sideways. Looks like it's in a trading range. New low, first entry short, second entry short, not the best signal bar to go short on. It could be in a trading range, but when I first see this, it pushes up, breaks through this resistance that I had, and it breaks through this localized trading range resistance. Then it closes within inside. But seeing that it blasted all the way up and then its close as a green bar doesn't make me feel very confident it's a first entry, second entry short. Plus, if you did take it, depending on how quickly you entered, you could get in, potentially get your quick 1 point scalp, and then pushes back up. So this type of price action isn't very doesn't give you a lot of confidence. At least doesn't give me a lot of confidence that I know exactly what's going on. Then it pushes down, breaks, tests the low, makes a second attempt down. Looks like it's kind of bottoming at this support. So at one time, I think this and this was some kind of range that this price action was kind of obeying, but there's some empty space here, empty space here. It's just not very clean yet, so I never colored it in. Pushes up, looks like it. So initially I had this lower, something about here, and I thought this is a potential fail breakout. Flushes through, creates a symmetrical fail breakout, pushes back up, then chops sideways, creates a visual first entry long pullback. Now, would you say this is second entry longs here, but it doesn't follow through very nicely? Then it makes even a lower low. So it's a visual first entry, second entry. I'm not convinced to take a long here because there's too much stem here. Then it flushes up. So you don't know that this is going to happen. At least I didn't. And at this point, I did think, okay, maybe it's not a failed breakout. Maybe it's something closer to here because it double topped here. Then it pushes out. Technically, you have a new low, visual first entry short, second entry short, or maybe the second entry short's right here. In any case, it fails, but I'm not going long because I believe there's some kind of resistance here. So there's no trade here. Pushes up and out. Looks like it's following this yellow up channel, but I also saw it as one leg, this green leg, pull back, second leg. So it made this measured move right here, one leg, sideways, second leg, but I'm not necessarily ready to go short yet because these bars don't give me enough confirmation or enough confidence to go short. So I do see kind of like a localized low, first entry short, second entry short. I'm looking for a little spike up and then flush down for a lower high. You kind of get a lower high here, but it's too wicky. It does kind of confirm you got a lower high here, but then it makes triple test here. So I wouldn't have wanted to take a trade here. Seeing this follow through doesn't convince me to enter now. And definitely seeing this resistance here doesn't give me confidence to go short, but not necessarily go long either, because it looked like it's kind of range bound. Pushes through. I did see a visual from here, technical count, first entry long pullback, second entry long failure. But this is a bad signal bar. I would not have been, and I didn't have a trade ready because I don't like the looks of this. Close above the EMA, it's doji. It looks like it would have worked, but then you get a lower high here. I thought this lower high might actually have been a possible trade, because it confirms the failed second entry long. It got an EMA rejection right here. It looks like it's re-entering this resistance, which at the time I thought could be part of this range. It could be a developing range. Yellow up channel has played out. Looks like it went up, broke, one attempt up, second attempt up, flushes down. There's a weak, go ahead and move it over one. Weak attempt here, moved up one tick, then flushed down really strongly. So good signal bar. I thought this might have been a possible trade, but my initial channel was tighter. And this is what gets me in trouble. Actually, let me just correct this. This gets me in trouble for my trade. So I was thinking it's something closer to this. So in real time, this is what I'm playing in real time. I'm thinking there's a possible bounce. Doesn't fit quite as well as I had initially. So I had something like this. So I'm seeing this in real time. I think this lower high could potentially bounce off this orange down channel. So I'm just going to leave it alone, but I thought it might have been a possible trade. It has enough things going for it. Looked like it would have worked for a quick 1 point scalp. Starts to move sideways, then pushes up. I put this red triangle, red diamond here because this happened very quickly. And I wasn't sure if there was any news that came out, but this just flushed up, then flushed down in a matter of 1 minute. Starts chopping sideways. It pushes up, so it's a new high, first entry long pullback, second entry long, and then the same thing here. Some kind of news item came out here that caused it to be very rapid. At this point, I dragged this channel up to here because it looked like it was a nice clean two-tier channel. So this is obeying the midline of this lower tier, and this is actually the higher tier. This is what gets me into trouble for this trade. So there's a new low. It's a first entry short pullback, second entry short. It moves up one tick and flushes down. So this first entry short, second entry short hasn't confirmed yet, but I thought this orange down channel is in play. It's the first break. It's going to come back down, test the low. I'm thinking I might be in a trading range because I actually had this a little lower, something close to this. I thought it was a fail breakout. I might be able to press down to the lows and ideally get a quick 1 point scalp. I also like that it moved one tick above and flushed down. I entered one tick below. I got a little bit of slippage, end up being 2 ticks below. It never goes and fills my order and flushes back up and takes out my stop, which is right here. At this time, I was thinking, should I kept my stop up here? But that was inviting a huge risk. And as you can see, if I did, this candle would have taken me out anyways. So here's everything that's wrong with this trade or my thinking at the time. I dragged this channel early. I should have treated this as a nice trending orange down channel going down. Should have treated this as a fail breakout. Technically, the fail breakout or the breakout of this orange down channel has tested the low. So in this scenario, this orange down channel has tested the low, tested the extreme. It has played out. I should be not really necessarily looking for lows, but see how this is going to play out. Then this could be a lower high. See, kind of just wait and see. On top of that, these two news items, because you can see this is 9:03 and 9:09, this is only 6 minutes. This is a lot of activity in 6 minutes based off of no real economic data, but I think it was some tweets or some announcements by the Trump administration. This should have given me another moment of pause. Then seeing this push up and push down. Okay, so it's break, tested low, made one attempt down. This could be the second attempt down, but it has already tested low. I should be careful. When I see this close, I should have probably put my entry one tick below here. When I see one tick below here, this doesn't fill and reverses up. I should have canceled my order immediately. But my folly was I dragged this up early to try to include this and not treat it as a failed breakout because I was fooled into thinking that this two-tier channel, this midline is being respected as some kind of resistance. Try to include it here. So this is when I thought, okay, this is actually the first break of this orange down channel. Now it's going to test the low. And that's what's got me in trouble because second entry short hasn't confirmed. It confirms here. Should have put my entry one tick below this guy. Seeing this would have been saved because it would have reversed up and I thought, okay, this is not a good, it's not panning out the way I thought. Should exit and I would have been safe. But I didn't, kind of jumped the gun, made a couple of errors here that kind of ended up with a bad trade. Prices move up in this pink up channel, flushes down. I drew this yellow support and actually the channel was tighter, something like this. And at one time I was thinking maybe it's actually tighter here, starting this channel a little bit later, like right here. Pushes up, almost has a breakout here. Starts oscillating, looks pretty good. First entry long, second entry long, bad signal bar to go long on. Starts breaking through. It's dwelling very long outside. So that's actually when I said, okay, let's go ahead and drag this up to here. Pushes out, hits sideways consolidation. I'm still watching. No clean second entries. It's first entry long, pullback. Technically, I have a second entry long that's confirmed here now, but I'm not ready to take this trade. I'm looking for a higher low above this EMA. You don't get it, and it just keeps going. I'm trying to see that, okay, prices are obviously pushing outside this orange up, yellow up channel, so I'm trying to include everything. Maybe it's something like this that actually fits pretty well. So first entry long, pullback, second entry long, actually I'll see it as one big leg down as well. And it just kind of pushes up. Now it's respecting this top of this yellow up channel pretty well. One touch, two touch, three touch. One touch, well, pretty good confirmations down here. I saw this as a new low. Actually, I saw this as a new low. Visual first entry short, second entry short. This gave me pause because I was thinking, is there a trade here? Based off the strength of this yellow up channel, getting a rejection. Unfortunately, it never ticked below. So I'm being extra cautious now because there's a pretty bullish green bar. There's a pretty bullish red bar, but it never broke below. And when it broke down and went back up, I'm just leaving it alone because this orange up channel still has to test its high. Prices then continue chopping. I was thinking I might be in a trading range. It's not the cleanest fitting range, so I'm not giving much respect yet to the highs and the lows because it hasn't confirmed enough. Pushes down. It's a first entry long pullback, second entry long failure. It hasn't failed yet. Green down channel has broken and tested the low. So if it's a failed second entry long, you're thinking of going short, except the down channel has played out. Overall, you'd be kind of counter trend trading to what's happening right now. So definitely it's a little confusing leaving it alone. Pushes down, bounces. So that's actually where I thought, okay, this bottom part might actually be where the range is. So first entry short, technically have a second entry short, not a good signal bar to go short on, above the EMA, nothing good here. Pushes down, first entry long pullback, second entry long. Unfortunately, this is a red bar. If it had been green, it looks pretty fantastic as a setup because it's confirming the support. And had only this been green, then it would have been probably a worthwhile trade to probably jump on. But that's okay. I'm still thinking first entry long, second entry long, higher low above the EMA, or a touch bounce off this yellow up channel support. So it comes back down. I'm thinking, okay, well, I don't like the color of this candle. It could still break through, and it does. And it keeps going. So there is, I'm not thinking of higher low now because it is below the EMA. I just want to see a push back into this yellow up channel, but it needs to set up appropriately. It does create two measured legs down from this high, one leg down, two legs down, but visual first entry, second entry, I still need a higher low in this case. Flashes up really strongly. You could say there's a higher low, but this is hard to enter because it flushes, and then by the time it closes, it does push all the way up. You could say maybe you're going to enter aggressively right here, but this is the first candle that broke through. So actually I'm looking for a first entry short, second entry short above the EMA failure. And unfortunately, you don't get that. You get a second entry short here, pushes down. Now I'm not thinking of a failure because it just doesn't look clean. pushes up and then back down, moves down on this orange down channel. At this point, it's moving sideways, so I don't know necessarily that it's really going to test the highs of this yellow up channel. It feels like this yellow up channel has been played out, and now it's just moving sideways chop. Break of this orange up channel, break of this orange down channel is a first entry long, second entry long, test the low, starting to reverse. You don't really get a second entry short yet. You get a second entry short here, but it's not really good. Or first entry short, excuse me. Get a second entry short here, kind of closes here. I'm looking to see what's going to happen on the next bar. Flashes up, so I'm now looking for a higher low. You kind of get a higher low here, but it confirms after this candle, after the next candle, after this red one opens and closes. So now you do have a confirmed higher low, but it doesn't give you enough confidence to enter at the time. Presses this first entry long, pull back. You have a second entry long below the EMA. I'm not really sure what's going on. It's getting really close to the end of the day. It's the last 10 minutes. Flushes down, and it kind of just moves into the close. As a break, tests the low. As another first entry short, pull back, second entry short. You definitely don't want to take it here because this is the last minute of the day. How many candles formed in this last minute? So overall, the trading this week, even though I didn't trade on Monday and Tuesday, I did do chart review for myself at the end of the day. Just didn't make a video or post them because whenever I go back at the end of the day, look at the chart, it's hard to say that you already see it in the chart. So it's hard to say in real time. You kind of have an idea where it's going. So it's hard to say what I would truly actually do. But the chart review is still useful to locate second entries and to just get a better idea of more price action and more, I guess, hours in the seat. But getting back to my point, this week has been, I think, a tougher week to try to trade. So the fact that I was profitable Wednesday and Thursday and then got a red today, I think I'm just kind of okay with that, just kind of happy and hoping that next week things get a little easier to trade. Volatility and volume today wasn't too bad. It's just nothing set up appropriately. And there's some little confusing parts here and there, especially the trade that I took. This is definitely my fault for increasing my channel early. Should have kept it this way because it does fit a lot cleaner. Treat it as a fail breakout, tested low, first attempt down, making a second attempt down, then reverses up. And following the rules, if I kept it one tick below this guy, that would have saved me from this error that it just flushed up. It could have just moved one tick below, filled me, and then pushed back up. However, if this was a trading range, the other thing I should have considered is I am at the low of this possible range. So just a whole bunch of things today that I should have considered. Hopefully, I'll take it into better consideration with more chart time, but I'll get more experience and not jump in on something like that. So hopefully that was helpful.